Hi, this is Courtney Thompson with Keller Williams Hometown Partners Blick Homes right here in Hutchinson with
Diane Blick.
And
Hi.
we're here on our front porch and we're inviting you to join us for our front porch talks. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube series. We are doing a lot of videos and I think this one is very important.
Timely.
It is very timely and very important. So we're gonna get a little heavy, but we promise it's really important to hear.
Yeah, this is really serious. This is about how to hire an expert to represent you in a real estate transaction. And the reason we think it's really important is that time and again, we see that because we're in a digital age, it's really easy just to get those documents online and click, 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 and they are signed and back, like boom. And unless you have read a lot of contracts, you have a legal background or other experience, or you want to just go out on a limb and take a risk with the biggest financial decision you're probably going to make in your life and just sign something that you don't know what you've committed yourself to, you really need to read and understand the documents that you're signing. And so today, we want to talk about the buyer's agency exclusive agreement and what that means to you as the buyer. So
yeah, we're specifically looking at buyers. There are several documents you sign as a buyer. A lot of them don't have to do with the house you're buying. And one of the more important ones is like Diane said, the exclusive buyer's agency is what we call it here. Yeah. There are several names for it in different areas, but it is an agreement between a buyer and actually the broker. The brokerage. And then the agent gets to be the executing facilitator of that, and it's named in that agreement.
Yeah, so it's between the buyer and the brokerage because it's the brokerage that's compensated, not the agent directly, and under the broker's license law, that the agent that's representing you is functioning. So the purpose of the agreement is to define how you'll be assisted in the purchase of the property and how that agent will negotiate the terms and conditions on your behalf. So the first thing that you need to do is you're going to have a conversation, right?
You need to talk to the person you're going to hire because that's really what you're doing, is you're signing a contract to hire someone to function on your behalf for one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make, which is buying a house.
Yes.
So knowing that person is going to be key, and that starts with a conversation.
Yeah, and your conversation should be about understanding what services are going to be provided to you, what the availability of the agent is going to be, to understand and get a real solid sense for yourself of what their care and concern for you is going to be, and for them to know what are your specific needs, what is your timing, and what is your budget. I think one of the highest values that we bring to our clients is being able to listen, deeply listen, to ask the right questions, and then to listen to the answers, to care deeply, and experience.
Absolutely, and that's part of that conversation. You're essentially interviewing someone to work for you, and their concern for what your needs are should be a priority, at least if that's how you want your agent to function. The agreement has a lot of details. Of course, we're not going to go into every detail of it, but at the end of it, you have to understand that this is a binding agreement. This is a legal document that you're agreeing to, and you'll have expectations in that agreement, and the agent will have expectations. What we like to do is explain how we fulfill those expectations, and how each part of that may play out through the process. And that's because we have experience, because we know what your needs are by that conversation, and that way we can function for you best.
Yeah, and you can, through this agreement, you are electing to hire a brokerage to work with you. You're defining the length of time of the service, and the length of timing of that service could be for one showing. And this should be discussed before you go look at houses. This should all be known and understood before you just go look at houses. So is it for one showing, or are you really comfortable that you have interviewed and you're hiring someone who's going to work with you through the whole process until you find the right house, and then you establish a time frame for that? Because once you are now bound together essentially through this agreement to work together for that period of time. Yeah. So it also talks about compensation.
Yeah, and I think that's probably one of the biggest points that we like to explain and ask questions and what ifs, because it does define that an agent will get compensated. And you know, and no one wants, you know, everybody wants the best for as far as getting paid for your work, but there are certain scenarios in which you'll have to discuss how the agent's going to get paid.
Yes, absolutely. And those are very those are going to be potentially different discussions depending on each listing, because typically the seller compensates the other brokerage for bringing the buyer, but that is not always the case. And so really having an understanding of what the financial ramifications could be and what you're agreeing to is super important. The other thing is that once you sign this document, you are actually committing to inform other agents that you're under an exclusive buyer agency agreement and what that term is. So those are the highlights. I think the most important message to take away is that you do need to read the documents. You need to have a conversation, and you need to have an experienced agent articulate, if you don't understand what's written in legalese, help you understand, and that you have the right to seek legal input before signing anything ever in a real estate transaction. So in close,
and also one of the other things is knowing who you're working with. You know, I know we all get really excited to go look at a house. That's the most fun part of the whole deal, is to look at all the houses. But making sure you know who you're working with before you sign something to go show a house or go see a house, and maybe they are the perfect fit, but knowing that in advance gives a lot more ease to the process.
It does, and I think that as buying and selling evolves over time, hiring a professional real estate agent is akin to hiring an attorney,
an accountant,
or interviewing a doctor to know, who's going to be operating on you. Yeah. These are big life decisions.
Wealth manager. I mean, there's a lot of professions that deal with big life choices that you should be have a little discernment for.
Yeah. So in close, we're really encouraging you to know what you're signing, to understand that when you sign legal documents, they're binding, to understand what your commitment in the process is, and to understand what the real estate brokerage and agent that you're hiring's commitment is to you and the services that you'll be receiving. So,
well, and this is hopefully informative to you, because our commitment is always to our clients, customers, and community to take care of their real estate needs with skill, integrity, and care. We do that by continuing agent training, education, and making sure our buyers and sellers are the savviest in the marketplace.
Yeah, we're really proud of that too, and especially I'm going to add something to the end of that. We are unique in that we're 2 full-time agents in a Keller Williams Hometown Partners Blick Homes office here in Hutchinson. Our repeat and referral business this year has been over 70%, and we earn that. We earn that every single day. We're proud of that. We're committed to it, and I think it goes back to the integrity, skill, and care that we use in serving our clients. So in the 60-some families that we've helped in transitions just this year.
Just in 2024.
Yeah. As they make the biggest financial move in their life, we're really proud and honored to have been able to do that. And we're here to help you too. So thanks for stopping by our front porch.
Join us again on our front porch anytime. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get all this great information and real talks on real estate. We hope to see you back soon.
Yeah, take care.